So hopefully you've had a look now at the question, how can this relationship be compared or contrasted to dialogue, themes and characters in Summer of the 17th Doll? And hopefully you've come up with some ideas because we did this the other day. Now, the next part of the essay deals with some of the female characters. So let's have a read. Judy and Debbie present another relationship in which ideals of politeness and courtesy are juxtaposed with a modern 1970s need for independence. Debbie lives in a fantasy world where boys reign supreme and to lose one's virginity is the highest prize imaginable. When talking of meeting up with the coveted Green Hills gang, Debbie wistfully pronounces, "Wish we had a horse, wish we could ride up, make an entrance." Her girly naivety here, her inflection as she giggles over the prospect of riding a horse to their meeting, shows the audience that she is unaware of the sexual exploitation that is common among the teens of the Green Hills gang, particularly of the entrenched chauvinism that is portrayed through the boys. It's another word you may have to research. I know we've talked about chauvinism, but it might do you some good to do some Googling there. It is through statements like this that the audience also realizes that of the young female characters, Debbie is the most intelligent. Her voice is distinctive, particularly through her consistent use of the French language. Remember her mum and her talking about her French lessons? So she's obviously got sort of a fluency there. Her own Australian vernacular is often interspersed with the French pronunciation of many words, such as entrance in the above quote. And in this way, while she lives the fantasy of a young teenager, she is also reflective of the values passed down by her mother, Judy, who we know is the principal of the school. So throughout the series, Judy offers a contradictory view of a woman caught between the values, or traditional values, of family and child rearing, but also those of the modern feminist. But we kind of know that sometimes, even if you are a feminist or not a feminist, you can have both. It's hard work, but you can. When describing her job to her friends at a night out, she laughs. It's principal now. I always hated headmistress. Always sounded like I was a chief whore. Humour and the self-deprecating expletive here represents Judy as intelligent and witty. The fact that she uses the term principal demonstrates her own progressive ideals as a woman who relinquishes the old headmistress title in order to associate herself with the non-gender specific title of principal. The very fact that she holds this position gives the audience an insight into her intellect and drive to perform well in her working life, a truly feminist ideal. Equality, okay, that's what she wants. She wants to be equal with the men around her, and she's working there, and she's working towards getting it. However, such remarks are often interrupted by her husband, who continuously draws her back into the folds of familial or family obligation and wifedom. Many of these statements are often delivered in quiet, passive-aggressive tones, such as "that's not appropriate" when she makes the joke at the pub. Here he serves to bring her into the reality of his own world, one in which perceptions and appearances matter and where old traditions are upheld. So he doesn't want to look stupid. He doesn't want his wife saying things like that because it makes her look, or he thinks, makes her look silly and crass, and it makes him look like he has no control over her. Many of the contradictions between traditional values and Judy's progressive viewpoints are borne out through her own conversations with her daughter. As Debbie becomes more rebellious, we see Judy repetitively exclaim remarks such as, "No daughter of mine runs to the sound of a horn." Remember when the guys, Bruce is sitting out the front beeping the horn and Debbie goes to run to meet him. "And you're such a good kid, Debbie. Don't let those other kids drag you down." Her need to teach her daughter about equality and self-respect are evident through both commands and compromises. Her tone becomes imploring as the episodes continue, and she finds that traditional ideals of conformity will not be met by her daughter, who is really starting to rebel. Judy's values and her voice are indeed distinctive. In a context where swearing and teenage colloquialisms are common, she offers a voice of reason, and she's actually really smart, and we can hear that in the way she speaks, to her increasingly wayward or naughty daughter throughout the first and third episodes. Okay, now you have these two questions to answer. And how can we compare and contrast Debbie and Judy to the characters of the doll? And write a paragraph of your own, that's meant to be of, your own analysing a distinctive voice in Puberty Blues. Alright, now the other thing you've got to do after this, you have been given an essay question, and I would like you to at least get the introduction and the first paragraph done today. of an essay based on one of the themes that you've been studying. Okay, so have fun.